Yeah, phone, a car just came through and kind of cut it out. But anyway, like I was saying, Daniel 12:4, this would have been perfect in reference with the with the picture, and even with this truth. Evidently, more and more people waking up. This is just showing you the times that we are in, because someone can just because you could just come across someone, you say certain things, and they ask you, "Oh, are you an Israelite?" 'Cause I remember one of my mom's friends, they were on the phone, and she was basically sending some stuff, and I was like, okay, she looked like she know a little something, but she's one of them. I don't think she'll be able to receive the Israelite foreigners, man. Because she like she sees she don't understand. I don't think it, she, she don't really see the Israelite foreigners thing, because she said basically she had brothers that didn't believe in the Northern Kingdom. Yeah, I can't even remember the reason, but brothers heard it all before, man. Brothers heard it all before, and there's evidence that the Northern Kingdoms, that the Northern tribes, are, the Latin brothers, so to speak. But of course, people just can't receive that. But anyway, but thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, just as you're seeing now, and knowledge shall be increased, and just like you are seeing now. What we're in the information age. We have the internet. We have a search engine which you can, Google certain things that historically, and use them for a lesson, so to speak. And you can watch documentaries and then see how they link it up with the scripture. You can do different things because we are in information age, so to speak. And the scriptures, because we have the full picture now, so to speak. Because you would have had back in Israel. Well, for example, in the time of Jeremiah, of course, the prophets still bringing out the word heavy, but there's more. We have more now than they had at that point. We have the full picture, so to speak. And the Lord, and people love talking about getting into these other books, like the book of Jubilees, the book of Joshua, the book of this, the book of that. I was never really attracted to those books even before coming into the truth. So I was like, I was kind of in the mindset. Let me kind of stick to the books that I know, because I don't really know these other books. And I had a friend coming up to tell me, the book of Enoch, it's this and it's that and it's this and it's that. So I'm like, okay. Don't be too like the elder, elder Apostle Taha, I believe, says this. Don't be too deep. Be one deep, man. Be one deep, because if you too, there's no reason to bug yourself out being too deep, man. But onto the next precept. No. Okay, yes. Judges 21:6, and the children of Israel repented them for Benjamin their brother, and said, there is one tribe cut off from Israel this day. How shall we do for wives them that remain, seeing we have sworn by the Lord that we will not give them of our daughters to wives? And I believe that this is when, basically the other tribes, there was a situation where, some men from the tribe of Benjamin took a concubine from another one of the tribes, and it basically led to a war from Slovakia. What was it again? that was basically between the tribe of Benjamin and the other tribe, because the other tribe would have had in their mind to kind of bring this to justice. And the tribe of Benjamin, has that wild spirit, man. But anyway, let me just continue. Judges 21:8, and they said, "What one is there of the tribes of Israel came not up to Mizpeh to the Lord? And behold, there came none to the next camp from Jabesh Gilead to the assembly. For the people were numbered, and behold, there were none of the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead were. And the congregation sent thither 12,000 men of the valiantest, and commanded them, saying, Go and smite the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead with the edge of the sword, with the women and the children." Hold on, let me just read down the chapter. Let me just continue from verse 11. "And this is the thing that ye shall do: ye shall utterly destroy every male and every woman that had lain by a man. And they found among the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead 400 young virgins that had known no man by lying with any male, and brought them unto the camp Shiloh, which is in the land of Canaan. And the congregation sent some to speak the children of Benjamin that were in the rock Rimmon, to call peaceably unto them." I remember remember the land of Canaan, is where the original 12 the original 12 were dwelling at. If I'm not mistaken, that's where we were dwelling at. That's where we were dwelling at. The sons of Jacob, they went from the land of Canaan. They went down to Egypt. And the whole congregation sent to speak to the children of Benjamin that were in the rock Rimmon, and to call peaceably unto them. So, in other words, some people went to try and speak to some, well, let's just say the children of Benjamin, that they were basically in a rock, or a type of cave, so to speak, if I'm not mistaken. But let's go into the Strongs. A crag, a cliff, a rock, a cliff. So it's letting you know that it's some type of, let's look up. So it's letting you know that it's some type of cliff that they were dwelling at, and someone went down. Someone went down to speak peaceably unto them. So someone went down to try and with kind words, not necessarily kind words, but kind intentions. And Benjamin came at that time, and they gave them wives which they had saved alive of the women of Jabesh Gilead, and yet so they sufficed them not. And the people repented them for Benjamin, because that the Lord had made a breach in the tribes of Israel. Then the elders of the congregation said, maybe it's not necessary I read this whole chapter because I wanted to get into other stuff as well. If I eliminate, let me just continue reading from here. Then the elders of the congregation said, how shall we do for wives for them that remain, seeing the women are destroyed out of Benjamin? And they said, there must be an inheritance for them that escape Benjamin, that a tribe be not destroyed out of Israel. Howbeit, we may not give them wives of our daughters, for the children of Israel have sworn, saying, cursed be he that giveth wife to Benjamin. And just adding a point to this, there was a point, I believe I might have said this before, but for those that may have just skipped through it, I believe there was a point in history that basically, the tribes were at war. There was what do they call that? A type of civil war where it was Benjamin against some of the others, and Benjamin's a real warlike tribe. But they had the upper hand that for, they had the upper hand that in a part of the war. I remember, going into the history of Benjamin, being ambidextrous, having a sword. I believe it was a sword in one hand and a bow in another hand, bro. That's some serious thing, man. Because you had of course, you had certain tribes in the Northern Kingdom, like God and them, which were the Navy SEALs of the tribes. The Navy SEALs are the special ops, so to speak. You had the different. Well, to be fair, all the tribes, we were all skilled at war. Therefore, they commanded the children of Benjamin, saying, go and lie in wait in the vineyards, and see, behold, if the daughters of Shiloh come out to your dances, then come ye out of the vineyards, and catch you every man his wife of the daughters of Shiloh, and go to the land of Benjamin. And this is basically this. In other words, this is saying hide in the vineyards, and just grab the woman and take her home with you. That just to put that into layman's terms. Now we can get this in another version. Let me get in the NLT. When you see the young women of Shiloh come out for their dances, rush out the vineyards, and each of you can take one of them home to the land of Benjamin to be your wives. Just like I said before, in other words, hide in the bushes and take them home with you. And it shall be when the fathers of their brethren come unto us to complain, that we will say unto them, be favorable unto them for our sakes, because we reserve not to each man his wife in the war, for ye did not give us them at this time, that ye should be guilty. Now that's pretty much the end of that. I'm gonna jump back here. Is, like I said, that thing that Benjamin did when they went to mess with the concubine, one of the concubines from the other tribes, and basically started that started that basically that type of civil war. That's just some of the wickedness that you know that's just that's just some of the wickedness that Benjamin would do, man. And you could see it, and that's evident. There's no new thing under the sun. You still see, you'll see not just Benjamin, but you see Jake in general mess with a woman that he knows that's someone else's, when that's only gonna lead to issues, man. If you know that for example, there's a woman, even if she may be coming on to you, so to speak, no excuses, and you know that she has a man, you gotta have discipline, just like Joseph did when he was in the palace, and Potiphar's wife tried to basically have her way with him. Joseph was like, no, why are you here? He's not gonna do this wickedness, because all throughout that, Joseph stayed disciplined. But anyway, where am I going from here? Alright, this is a good one. I'm gonna continue scrolling down. This is First Chronicles 12 and 2. They were armed with bows, and they could use both the right hand and the left in hurling stones and shooting arrows out of a bow. Now, what is that? Another way of saying they were ambidextrous. And ambidextrous is basically they can use both hands. They were very skilled when it came onto warfare. I believe the way that the tribe of Benjamin was like where the way that the land was placed, like the way our land was placed, like in the ancient world, it was like he's also a strategic. I believe he's also strategically placed there. In terms of in the event of a war as well. I can't see the reason. I wasn't 100% sure because I don't have the map in front of me. I have it in one of my atlases, but now that as I speak, yeah, I can just kind of just look at it. You can pretty much see here, you have Benji here, Ephraim, Judah, Simeon, Reuben, Manasseh, Asher, yeah, you can see all the tribes. And of course, you have Edom somewhere down there, and then you can see Moab. Here is. I knew it was further down, just a little bit further down than Simeon. You have Amalek here, and Amalek is the chief tribe of Edom. I believe Amalek was one of Esau's grandchildren. But yeah, let's see if there's anything in the Wikipedia. Okay, so maybe there might be something here. I'm just scanning it before I read it to see. Okay, I can't find what I'm looking for, but I remember seeing something about the land basically in a book. I'm gonna have to reread over that. I may mention that in another video when I look back over that, but still gonna continue through it. Is there anything else I can get there before I just move on to the kingdom? No. No, maybe I'll just jump over to the kingdom. No. I was like, in my head, I'm like, yo, imagine how we're gonna be like in the kingdom, man. Because why I could, the vibe I could feel. No, you feel that, no, that's, that feeling, that's not really a new feeling, but hearing the music and whatnot, just, that, the vibe that you'll feel sometimes when you're around certain people. I'm like, yo, how much better is it gonna be in the kingdom? Just hearing the music, feeling the vibe, and whatnot. Because they went into they mentioned James 1:1, but of course they went off because they wanted to mix the whole Rastafarianism. That the guy, one of the guys in the state, wanted to mix some of that Rastafarianism into it, which of course it may have they may be right on some stuff, but ultimately they go off. And I definitely would know that because like I got family members. I grew up with a Rastafarian. You know, I was around a lot of Rastafarians when I was younger, so I know a lot of what I'm talking about when it comes to the ideology and whatnot. Now, that's why all the tribes is gonna be 12,000, 12,000 out of each tribe. Now I just wanna jump there and then you know what? After I jump there, I close it. Oh, I didn't want to make this too long-winded. Like I said, I didn't really have a place that I was really going with this. I just wanted to kind of go, through the spirit. Just kind of pray it was edifying. And you know what? If I get more information, if I pick up more things, there's more things. I decide that I want to go into more details with this particular lesson that I did. Then I'll do it. Which is most likely gonna happen. There's nothing wrong with me. It's just beautiful. Just going with the spirit. But there's nothing wrong with doing a lesson over again. Revelation 7 on Revelation 7 and 1. And after all these things, I saw 4 angels standing at the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power. And he cried with a loud voice. So he's basically, he's projecting his voice. He's shouting. To whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of Israel. Of the tribe of Judah was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Reuben was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Gad was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe, this is really awesome, but it's just, just spelled a different way. will seal 12,000 of the tribe of Naphtali. Again, it's just spelled a different way. Will seal the 12,000 of the tribe of Manasseh. Will seal 12,000 of the tribe of Simeon. Will seal 12,000 of the tribe of Levi. Will seal 12,000 of the tribe of Issachar. Will seal 12,000. Now this is just Zebulun. Of the tribe of Zebulun will seal 12,000 of the tribe of Joseph. Now this is really talking about Ephraim, because we see in Manasseh up here, and we know that Joseph's blessing got split between his two sons, so that's really going into Ephraim. Will seal 12,000 of the tribe of Benjamin. Will seal 12,000, and that's, the first fruits there. 144,000 is the prophets. And after this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all the nations and kindreds and people and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands. And that palms is symbolizing victory, meaning that they had victory, for not worshipping the beast nor the image of the beast, and basically keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, and trying to live the best way that they could, so to speak. I've had people come up to me and say, live your, quote unquote, live your best life. There is no better way to live life than, the way Yahweh Shem Yahushai told us. Because, hey, I tell you, there is no worse feeling. There will be no worse feeling than someone, if you're in the street, than to listen to one of those boneheads in the world and say, okay. And then Jacob's trouble to pop off. And then, the Lord to basically just say, because you wanted to go back, into the world, and you thought that there was something better, then, hey, enjoy what's going on now. And then after that, you see people get beaten up into chariots just because, you lost your faith, or you lost patience, because you might have heard someone in the world say, live your best life. Listen, these people in the world don't even know what kind of life we're going to be living. They don't even know what's going to happen. Why would you listen to airheads like that? And in closing, I'll close out here, and in closing, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahushua B'Ashir B'Kakadash. I know this lesson, that I could have gone into heavy detail with this lesson. You know what? At some point, Lord willing, Lord willing, at some point, I'll try to do a lesson on the tribe of Benjamin. I might do a lesson on the tribe of Benjamin, but I didn't want to make this too long-winded. I felt like I covered all the main points. Like I said, I didn't even know where I was going, and I really wanted to avoid going on a tangent. So I hope this was edifying. In closing, I want to go our praises and in glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua B'Ashim Kadash. Until next time, Shalom. And of course, a hearty Shalom to you brothers pushing the word in sincerity and in truth. Continue laboring. We almost all here. Don't lose patience, man. Don't lose patience. As you can see, man, everything's happening at a much faster rate. Don't lose patience. Shalom.